Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Sorry it's a little bit late. Everything is just is all madness here, absolute madness. But anyway, I hope everyone's okay, and we wanted to come on. It's one of those days as everything is changing very, very quickly in a very ever-changing dynamic situation as what we're going through at the moment. That includes us, me, Martin, Kiam, everybody are all affected by this, and so yeah, I do apologise. It's a bit of a late one, bit of a rushed one, but what we thought we'd do is we'd come on and talk about some footy. Stay clear of being experts on the coronavirus, and it's quite frightening, if I'm being honest with you. But hey, it is what it is. I think everyone needs to, I don't know, just talk about what they think they know about, which is footy, rather than trying to be experts on everything else. But anyway, hope everyone is well. Let me just see who is on. Is anyone on? Oh, yeah, got load on. Alexander Savage, evening, guys. Late one, though it doesn't mean it won't be a good one. Ryan Corrie, my guess is that it'll just be a quick one. Yeah, it probably will be a quick one. I'm absolutely goosed. Kiam, hey everyone, hope you're all keeping safe. Wash those hands, you filthy animals. Martin, evening all, hope we're good. Please be safe, please. Martin, might be a long one, Ryan. You never know. No, I don't think it's going to be a long one, mate. God, big jump again, sorry. Lankow, hello all. Hope everyone's well. See you Longley, guys. See you Longley. What? Alexander Savage, anything less than 35 minutes is a quick one in my books. You wish. Iverson, good evening, peasants of Earth. How are you doing, mate? Hope you're well, buddy. Lankow, David Silva is the best player to ever play in the Premier League. Ooh, there's a question. Question for everyone. Is David Silva the best player ever to play in the Premier League era? There you go. Lankow's giving you a question, everyone. That's going to be the question of tonight's vlog. Is he? Phyllis says NASA confirmed April's asteroid could well be heading for Earth happy days. So, out of everything that's gone on today, not only just in my life but everyone else's life, it was like, saw somebody post it on Twitter. I was like, Jesus Christ, do it now, get it over and done with. Evening, either Ryan, Alex, Lankow, and all, says Martin. Afternoon, says Ryan. Man City Fan TV, hi pal. That was to Martin. Martin Madness. I've had a quiet day, to be honest. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you have, mate. That I somehow doubt. Certainly, my day hasn't been quiet today. Liam Donovan, can't find toilet paper. I have to poo in towels now. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is horrible. You don't need to do that whatsoever. Just wash your ass, mate, for God's sake. Peter Curry, hi, fellow Blues. How are you, Peter? Hope you're well. Alexander Savage. Andy, you might want to visit a barber shop soon. I know, mate. I'm desperate for a haircut. It's been business meetings today, so not a lot I could do. I will try and go tomorrow if my barber, she's still open. But I'll be honest with you, mate, it's the least of my worries right now. After today, we are now officially closed indefinitely as a business, and everybody is now working from home. So it is what it is, and we'll muddle on through, and I'm sure we'll come out the other side stronger as a team. It is one of those things. So you've just got to crack on with it. No point moaning about it. It is what it is, and we just have to find new ways to keep everybody busy and think about what's going to happen on the other side. Because I'll be fine. Whether the rest of everybody else in my team are going to be fine is another thing, and that's my concern. I'm not worried about me, I'm worried about them. So yeah, it is what it is. It is one of those things. Anything happening about the email earlier? Yeah, it won't be tonight, mate, because everything's just kicked off. There's been loads of stuff, not bad kicked off, but busy stuff has come in that I've had to deal with. So it's been a very busy day. So yes, that maybe we'll put that back for tomorrow, and we'll do that, Ryan. So I will email everybody who was on that email list. I will email you all tonight or tomorrow morning about that. But I thought rather than doing it now, and because there were a few people who didn't come back on the email that I sent out earlier, I thought I'll wait and see tomorrow what everyone's doing. Ivor says, if you like a bet, get your money on signing and Sterling double. Both will sign new contracts with City. Best ever in the Prem? Doubt it, says Alexander Savage. Oh, so what you're saying, David Silva isn't, so who is then? No, only just about makes honourable mentions. What are you talking about? Ryan Corrie, you will definitely be training on your own in isolation if you keep saying things like that about David Silva. Online business meetings, it's training, mate. So it's not all a lot of it is legal requirements. So you can't just have business meetings. It doesn't work that way in aviation. A lot of it's all for certification purposes. So some things you can do online, other things you can't do online. So we'll see. That's what we're working on at the moment. Wow, you should see my hair. No, my hair is desperate. I'm desperate for a bloody haircut. I'll just shave it off. Maybe that's something I should do while we're all in isolation or whatever's coming next. I'll just shave my hair off and then look a right twat, won't I? This virus chaos could possibly lead to another economic crisis. Could do. I'm at home too, Andy, because of my heart condition. But hey-ho, has to be done, absolutely, Peter Curry. You've got to keep safe, buddy, and make sure you look after yourself, mate. I've got a load of stuff here for my mum. I really can't see my mum. My mum is desperately ill, should be in hospital, she's been told by a doctor. But he's told her that she's safer at home than going into hospital. So, yeah, it's a worry. It is a worry. But look after yourself, buddy, and just do what the experts say and not what everyone else who think they're social media experts say. I haven't watched your video about stockpiling madness, but I'm planning to. It's crazy. It's absolute madness. Sanjay J, I'm playing FIFA 20 career mode. Have to make myself active, Andy. City all the way. Ooh, good luck with that one, mate. Maybe you need to get in touch with Kiam. Though I am going to play Kiam. This is a thing. And I'm going to say it on here now. Kiam and Martin are probably laughing. I don't play FIFA. I have no idea. I played it years and years ago when my lads were young. They play it. I don't play it. But I said, okay, if I'm going to be at home, and that means, unfortunately for you guys, I'm here for the next 2 months, full on Man City Fan TV, then maybe I'm going to play Kiam and Martin at FIFA. That should be a laugh. And I don't mind embarrassing myself. So we'll see what happens with that. But maybe we'll get a little bit, if I can work out how to play it, maybe we'll get a bit of a competition going on, seeing as I've got all this time on my hands now. Lankow, EastEnders has ceased filming and my mum's not very happy. Jesus Christ. I've not seen EastEnders for God knows how long. Alexander Savage, best player in the Prem history. Well, I can't pick the number one, but let's start with Sergio. I'd put him over David. Wow. Alan Howarth, panic stations in Melbourne. Market is screwed over here. Liverpool not winning the league cheers me up. Come on, City. Hi, Andy. Just got in. I've emailed you. Thanks, Chris Baker. I'll email you back, mate. Don't worry about it. I passed a day building a house on Minecraft. I'm not in the mood for FIFA at the moment. I don't even know what Minecraft is, mate. We still play football on April the 4th? No, definitely not. That's the day after my birthday. Don't forget, my birthday is the 3rd. So I want lots of happy birthdays to me. Alan Howard, stay safe, all my fellow Manx from Melbourne Blues. You guys keep safe. Listen, you're in a beautiful city, Alan. Melbourne is a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful city. So give my best to all the Melbourne Manx out there and the Melbourne Supporters Club. And maybe we can do, Alan, if you want to, do you want to do a Skype call? If you're not in isolation, do you want to do a Skype call with Man City Fan TV and some of the Man City fans, maybe? Email me, mate. I'll put my email address down here. And you can... I've got loads of time now, so it don't really make much difference. So mcfcfantv@gmail.com. Maybe you can get some of the Blues in the Melbourne Blues together, and we can do the Skype call and talk about what's it like from one side of the world to the other. So, Alan, there you go. There's my question to you, mate. No football till May, in my opinion. I think it's going to be longer than that. Alex wants to know, Alan, do you watch Melbourne City? Martin says, be longer than May. Alex, our sister club. Martin, bit of a pessimism there. I don't think it's going to. If it's going to be in May, for example, it'll definitely be behind closed doors. There'll be absolutely no crowds going to football until God knows. Who knows? That's the problem. We don't know. But I'll be very, very surprised if then any crowds are allowed at football in June or July. Very surprised, but we'll have to wait and see. Leave it to the experts. Liam Donovan says, if you play FIFA, get in touch with Eddie Toland. He does online seasons. There you go. If you play FIFA online, get in touch with Eddie Toland, whoever he is. Being realistic, really, Alex. No problem. I've done email later. Thank you, mate. Well done. Thanks for that, Alan. Martin, come and join us. Alan, definitely. Ivor says, great news from Japan regarding this flu treatment trials. Who would have thought an old treatment would be so effective against C19? Do we overthink things sometimes? Maybe. I've not read that, mate. I'll be honest with you. I'm just... it's been business stuff tonight. What's that about Ivor? There you go. So Ivor, tell us a bit more about that. Beyond Belief, hi pal, says Ivor. How are you? Evening Blues, Beyond Belief is on. How are you, buddy? Listen, one thing I want to do before I go into just a little bit of gossip, chat, football stuff, because let's face it, we're not coronavirus experts at Man City Fan TV. So what we're going to do is talk about footy. We're going to do a live quiz. As I said to you 7 days ago, said we're going to do a quiz this week, and I didn't say when we're going to do a quiz, but we are going to do one, and it might be tomorrow night or Friday night. Not sure yet, but we've been working on several things for the channel, and one of the things we're not sure whether we do it on the channel as a bit of a daily thing, and we've got 2 or 3 things in the pipeline for a daily thing, plus all the Who Are You series and everything else that's coming back. But I put it on Twitter, and some of you may have seen it on Twitter today. And I just put out a really, really easy one. And we've made hundreds of these. So, and that is, if you are old enough and you are in the UK, and maybe they might have done it. Alan Howarth, if you're in Melbourne and you were in the UK when you were younger, or did they do it if you've been out in Australia, maybe they've done it in Europe somewhere. But in the UK, certainly when I was a kid, you used to get a knock at the door and you'd have the poolsman, and the poolsman used to come round and you give you 50p to the correct scores and how many whatever you wanted to pay. And there was always Spot the Ball. Remember Spot the Ball, where you got a picture of a game but there was no ball on it. You just had to put an X, and most of the time you thought every week, I should have won that, and he could have won 500 quid, which at the time was like winning 20 grand now. But it was always just, a fraction of a millimetre off. Well, Man City Fan TV are going to bring back Spot the Ball. And so, here you go. Here's your chance. And this is a really easy one. A very, very easy one. So we'll pick the easiest one out of all of them that we've got. So here you go. You can have a go now, just as a sample of what's coming up in the quizzes and what's coming up in potentially a new series amongst the other stuff that we've got, like scratch cards and other stuff like that. So here you go. Here's your chance to have a go. So, from a famous game, Manchester United versus Manchester City, where is the ball? Is it in 1, 2, 3, or 4? I'm going to give you a few seconds, and you can decide where you think that actually that ball went. So it's entirely up to you. Where do you think that ball went? I'll give you. Well, I'll get. I tell you what. I'll give you. I'll tell you what. I'll give you. I'll give you 1 minute, just like it's a bit of a quiz, so you can have a go. Do you know? Let's see. Oh, 2. We've got 2s. We've got 3s. You reckon? Oh, 3s and 1s, and we've got a 4. We've got a 3. Ooh, let's have a look. What have we got then? So, I'll come back to your comments in a second. Let's just see. We've got Mad City 2213 says a 3. Shadow Rundown a 2. Ivor thinks it's a 3. Not the foggiest. Well, you've got 1, 2, 3, or 4, Ryan. It's not that hard. Scott Williams thinks it's 2. Alexander Savage a 2. Beyond Belief a 3. Alan Howarth a 1. Lankow says 3. Liam Donovan says 4. Phone a Friend. D. Stewart says 3. Peter Curry 3. More I Look at It 1. Michael Lyons thinks 4. Shadow Rundown, I'm looking at the fans. This is what you know. What this when I started doing this, right? When I started doing it, that's what I did originally. I was going, oh, is he looking at that? Is he looking at this? And I was looking at the players, and I was putting, and actually, I worked it out that it doesn't matter where the players are looking, and it doesn't matter where the fans are looking, because the ball is generally nowhere near where they're looking, because it's the image is taken so quickly. Is this a trick, Andy? No, it's not a trick. This is a real. All that's happened, I'll tell you now. What we've done is taken a real life. Who's that? BB. Okay, BB. This is a real life image. Not a real life image, but it's an image of a real event, a photograph. And all we've done is we've created some balls that have gone over the top of the ball and just numbered them. So basically, it took a little bit of sort of tricky working out how to do it, and it was quite fiddly, but got there in the end. And we've got hundreds of these now. So yeah, some are black and white, some are not, and some they're not all Man City. They're random, absolutely random games. But so one of those balls is the actual ball, and what I'll do maybe tomorrow, I'll show you the real photograph, and then you'll know exactly which ball is the real one. But let's see, anyone else? Exactly, BB. Phyllis 2.7. I reckon it's between 1 and 4. Ooh, Ryan Curry. It is complicated, pal. Name the players. Yes, there you go. Well, Scott Williams has obviously got the one who's heading the ball there. Well done, Scott Williams. We can. Well, this is what I put on Twitter earlier. Oh well, I did it this morning. I think it was, or just at lunchtime before I went to Manchester Airport, and I put it on here and saying, can you name the game, the year, the score, the teams, the players you can see? So there are so many variables we can do with Spot the Ball. So. But it's more about the actual. Can you name? You can't see him off here. I can see him in the real image, but can you see who the number 9 is? Anybody know who the number 9 is from what you can? Let me just look at what you're looking at. Oh, yeah. Anybody know who the number 9 is? There you go. There's one for you. Lanka, I'm not telling you what year the game was. Ivor can't go off United Strong. To Ivor, we have to wait a day for it. Yeah, no, I'll tell you tonight because I'll put it on Twitter. And like I said, I only put this on Twitter as a bit of a teaser to sort of say, people like it? Do they want it? I had loads of messages saying, oh, that's a really good idea. So we're going to use it in the quiz. We're also going to do a daily one. And there might be a prize up for it. Or we might just leave the prize for the quiz. And we might put some of these into the quiz, plus do some other ones as well. So we've got Kevin Reeves. Anybody else name anyone else on there? Can't go off, numbers have never been my strong suit either. We have to wait a day. Not tomorrow, mate. Can't wait that long. Need to know now, mate. Andy leaving us on a cliffhanger. Bailey in net. Steve Bruce in the background. Steve Bruce? Oh, Steve Bruce won't play for United then. Mickey Thomas in the number 11. Love listening to Andy and then having Star Trekking coming on my Spotify in the background. You cheeky sad Ryan. Yeah, there you go. Can you name him? Mickey Thomas. That looks like Mickey Thomas to me. We know that's Gary Bailey, certainly. We know Kevin Reeves. Who is the player, City player, whose foot's up? And you can't actually see him, the number 9 that's in there. But, ooh, can you name the ginger nut with the curly hair, the United player? Come on. I'm not going to go into the players, but I will give you. I wonder if I can bring it up. Let me just see if I can bring it up live. So you'll have to, I'll have to apologise if I bring this up live. So I do apologise, but I will show you the actual image. Let me just see, because I was setting this up for. I'll just call it answer. I wasn't going to set this up to show the image tonight, but I will do. Let me just go into my file. So please forgive me. This isn't set up like we would normally do this. Let me just see if I can find it. At least then you know where it is and what it is. Let me just find where it is, and then I will add it. There we go. No, that's not the one. There we go. So there you go. I'm going to put this, as you can see, over the top of the image, and as you can see, as I stretch it there is the ball. So as you can see, the answer was number 4. There you go. There's the actual real image of Nicky Reeves' header. There, it was number 4. So, well done if you got number 4. Far too clever. Far too clever, if that's what you got. But anyway, what do you think? That's something we're going to introduce into the quiz. Like I said, we've got hundreds of these. And we're going to be putting them on here. Maybe a couple of things daily. After we've done the quiz, we'll maybe add some more, and you can all have your guesses at Spot the Ball, and we've got some other things as well. And if you remember, I've not even got it on here. Do you remember the cards that used to come through the pubs and clubs? And it used to have about 40 teams or 80 teams on it. And you'd all sort of put £1 in the pint pot, and you'd write 2 names or 1 name. It depends on what sort of pub you went in. You might have got 4 names, 4 for £1, but it had East Fife and Stirling and Charlton and you name it. And you put your name on it, and once it was full, somebody would scrape off the name of it, and you ended up winning 50% of it, and the rest went behind the bar for the bar staff, or it went to a charity or something like that. We're going to do something like that as well. So not only have you got old school Spot the Ball on Man City Fan TV, you've got the old scratch card game as well coming up soon. So there you go. We're going to keep you entertained with that is just a fraction of the stuff that we've got coming up on the channel. So told you, I'm going to be home for 2 months, so you're going to get everything on this channel being thrown at you left, right, and centre. But let me get back to your comments. Let's see who is on. Where was I up to? The Elephant Man is in the crowd. The Elephant Man is in the crowd. Gordon McQueen. No, it's not Gordon McQueen. Ashley Grimes. I think you're spot on with that, Scott Williams. I must be honest, I'm not sure. Wasn't sure whether it was one of the Nichols, but Ashley Grimes is a good shout. Cantona in the crowd. Nicky Reed falling over. I thought Stones and Phil Jones was in defence by look at this pitch. Justin Bieber possibly in the stands. Luke Chadwick. I could see Martin behind that red fence. Great shout, Scott. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I must admit, I don't know the answer to that. I was guessing. I didn't know whether it was one of the Nicol brothers or whether it was Ashley Grimes. That's a good shout. Martin is sorry. Message. Don't know what that means. Evening, boys. In blue, Sergeant Awesome. How are you? No way they still do that at my work. They still do that now, Andy. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about the scratch card stuff. Yeah, I'm sure they do. What team did Nicky Reed make his debut against? I was there with my dad. Oof, bloody hell, that's a good question. 2 months of Andy must be a blessing. Sorry, Nicky Reed. That's correct spelling. Bobley Dorman. Gladback, says Sergeant Awesome. 50p in the glass and you get to choose a spot out of 30. Draw at the end of the night and winner gets half, the other half goes to the bar. Happens every darts match. There you go. Is that for spot the ball, or is that for the scratching off cards, the scratch off cards, Ryan? I'm sure it still happens because they are so popular. Hey citizens, Manchester City 255. I still want to go back and where you were talking about something there that was a question. Nicky Reed, who did he make his debut? Either give us the answer. BB says, Andy, what's your feeling whether the league season will be voided? I'll be surprised if it is. I'll be honest with you. I think they'll just delay it until it happens. Who knows? Thoughts on Daniel Sturridge getting caught betting? Yeah, well, Phyllis says it was Borussia. Oh, it's not Steve Kinsey in the number 9 shirt. No, it's not Steve Kinsey. I'm absolutely sure it's not Steve Kinsey. Let me just, while you're on, let me just double check. Before I say I'm definitely sure it's not, I'm sure I've got a picture of the full picture. Let me just double check because I'm sure before. Let me find it. No, that's not the one. Let me just. No. Oh, let me find. Oh, here it is. Let me just find it because I think in the original photograph that I saw. Eventually, no, it's not opening. Let me just see if I can open it in another part. I'll give you a clue if I'm right, and I can't remember because there's that many images that I've gone through. I've got this image is not showing it, but I will say to you this. I'm sure he's a black guy. There you go. I'm sure he's a black guy. So there's a clue for you. I'm sure he is. I'm absolutely certain he is. So you'll know straight away, as soon as I've said that, who it could possibly be. Where have we gone up to here? Borussia Dortmund until 21st of April. That is scratch one. Scratch. Oh, they do the scratch ones. Like you were talking about, spot the ball. Awesome it was, pal. Non-league football is cancelled too. Won't get to see my Matty Bolland. Who do you support, Liam Donovan? I have a rabbit. I got it right. I was just watching the highlights of City 4-2 Mönchengladbach and just guessed. Well done, Sergeant Awesome. Are you going to do some recent games of them photo quiz? Going to do a real mixture. There's a mixture of some this season, some last season, the season before, some from 2010, 12, some going back to 2001, remember rightly. Some in the 90s, 80s, 70s, and 60s of Man City, but then there are a load of them that are clearly not City. So the difference is you can just quickly Google them, and if I gave you like 2 minutes, if you could work out who the teams were, you possibly, because the ones we've selected are not ones that are just at the top of the list on Google. They're seriously down the list. You might be able to find them, obviously, because if we're finding them, you will. So yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. It's just a bit of fun at the end of the day. It's just a little bit of fun. Not going to lie, but I was watching the Singapore League earlier. Go through some of our best games in the last 10 years if you need football content. I recommend QPR. Sergeant Awesome. It's already in order, mate. Honestly, we've already got something lined up. It's going to be really, really good. But we're just going to have to wait over the next 48 hours what's going to happen. If everything stays okay, we've got something really, really good in the pipeline coming up over things like that. So don't worry about that, mate. We're on the ball with all of these things. We're not spotting the ball. We're on the ball, buddy. Peter Curry, Dave Bennett. No, I don't think it is. DB, spot on Peter Curry. You reckon it's Dave Bennett? I don't think it's Dave Bennett. I might be wrong. Not sure who is it. Maybe could be Dave Bennett. Could quite easily be Dave Bennett. I will look and find the full image I've got because it was obviously an edited down one, and there's that many I've looked at. I've looked at hundreds and hundreds. But you might be right. Might be Dave Bennett. Might be somebody else though. Oh, Scott Williams. Can't remember him wearing the number 9 though. Roger Palmer. Ooh, what do you reckon now, Scott Williams? If you were to make a top 10 worst City signings ever, would include Mangala on that list? God, Jesus Christ, are you joking? Whatever? Jesus, can name you 30 players, 30 worse signings than Mangala. Trust me, mate. Been watching City far too long. OG the baby. Thiago Almada will be the next Carlos Tevez. Pep should sign him. Ivor says, Sergeant Awesome, cracking guess. It was the 1-1 draw. He made his debut. Think big Mick Channon got City's goal. Can't wait. Andy's sure it'll be great. And thanks, Ivor. We're on the ball. Tune. God, Jesus Christ. I give up with you lot. You're bloody mental, the lot of you. Right. Let's look at a little bit of news today. First one up. Let's go on to have a little bit of teaser about Leroy Sané. Now, Leroy Sané. We're going to look at Leroy, and there's been a little bit of news about him. Now, this is more to do with regards to his agency more than anything else. And if you take a look at what this come out with Sport Bill today, and it says new secret meeting because of Sané, and it was going on about, and this is translated because it was in German, and it was talking about Bayern, the board boss is already calculating how high the revenue losses due to the corona break will be. A loss in the mid-double-digit million range should definitely come to the club. The calculation is also important in view of the fact that large purchases are planned for the next transfer period at the record champions. Remember, this is translated. While the league stands still, the transfer business continues behind the scenes. According to Sport Build information, there was a secret meeting last week, and that included the sports director, Hassan Salihamidzic, met the agency Lian Sports in Munich on Wednesday. The consultants represent Bayern, professionals Jerome Boateng and Manchester City's star Leroy Sané. According to Salihamidzic, has internally declared Sané to be his planned King transfer. The sports director has been in contact with Lian Sports, which is Leroy Sané's new agency that's looking after him after he moved away in April. Away from David Beckham's agency, and but they're not allowed to. I'm trying to just do this from translation. They're not entitled to any official negotiation until the 1st of April, and then they reckon it will be concrete. One thing is clear: Bavaria wants Sané, who still has a contract with City until 2021, to offer a 5-year contract and top conditions. The player has already deposited the basic readiness with the buying board in the winter, but time is running out. Top clubs such as Real Madrid and Barcelona are also threatening to poker to join a German international. Again, this is translated. According to Sport Build information, Sané has 2 specific offers from top clubs. So, reading between the lines, I apologise, that is a translated. Just bring that off. That is a translated article from German into English, so it's not the best to read from. But basically what they're saying is that Leroy Sané has obviously left David Beckham's agency and he's moved to this Lions agency as his representatives. They reckon that his representatives met with Salihamidzic from Bayern last Wednesday in Munich, and there are offers already on the table for Leroy Sané, and that Bayern still want Sané as their top target. There are also, the Sports Bild newspaper claimed that Real and Barcelona are also sniffing around Leroy Sané. So we'll wait and see. Martin has constantly said he'll be gone. I've been one that have been erring on the 50-50 side, saying I think there's still a chance he'll sign a contract. What do you guys think? I guess a lot of it's going to come down to contractual stuff as well, because if the league doesn't resume or is not finished by the 1st of June, 30th of June, that's generally when all the contracts are signed until year by year. So that means if we don't finish the season until July, August, well, we're already 2 months into Leroy Sané's final year, and then that's not great news for Man City. So we'll wait and see. Let me go back and see what your comments and stuff are. Sorry, a big jump there. Missed that one. Why do we waste time talking about Sané? Why? Because it's news, mate. Benaim, Joe Jovetic. There's some names, mate. Certainly. Plus 93 new cases in Turkey, by the way. They've skyrocketed. Plus 93 is not skyrocketing, mate, compared to the UK. Let's get the cash and move on. Shadow Rundown, I can't wait to see the Man City sold Sané for 100 million in the headlines. Steve Daly, Samaras, Lee Donovan. I'm trying to listen to Andy and the missus is watching on beside me. Listen to the missus, whatever you do. Ivor says, any of MCFC current squad or member of the squad in the last 10 years would walk into many of the shite MCFC sides I've seen over the last 5 decades, absolutely. Jovetic was all right. Injuries just beat him, in my opinion. Let me guess, Boney over Mangala. Boney's definitely a worse signing than Mangala, that's for certain, mate. Right, moving on to the next little bit of tittle-tattle. And this is all about, so it's from Craig Hope in the Mail. And this is, with each passing day, the soundings of those who maintain it is imperative to finish the season feel less relevant. If the coronavirus crisis stops football for 6 months or more, there will be little appetite to rewind the clock. And basically, this article is probably one of the first today. And it says, how different does life feel compared to 6 days ago? Imagine then our perspective in 6 months' time. This is the time frame some officials are suggesting before sport will return in the UK, with social restrictions set to remain in place. Even then, that could well be an optimistic estimate. For there is one certainty in life at the moment, and that is we just don't know. Never has uncertainty felt more certain. And it goes on to say, what we do know is that lives will change, be that physical, mental, or financial health. The impact of coronavirus will affect almost all of us in 6 months, or whether it is we consider ourselves through the worst of this. Life is sure to feel very different. For many, given the sad but inevitable loss of loved ones, jobs, businesses, and homes, it will be unrecognisable from what went before. To that end, and bringing us back to sport, will there really be an appetite to revisit a football season from 5, 6, or even 7 months previous? With each passing day, the soundings of those who maintain it is imperative to finish the 2019-20 campaign feel less relevant and more self-centered. In mitigation, it is understandable that instinct tells us to find a way to complete a competition that has been on pause for less than 1 week. Says, and of course, most of the arguments for doing so are valid, but be they motivated by fairness or finance, especially when it comes to protecting lower league clubs and their employees, but potentially 6 months down the line, the last thing the majority of us will want to do is rewind the clock. To be clear, this is not to say football and sport will be the least of people's concerns when the time comes for it safe and sensible to reconvene. On the contrary, sport will be vital in restoring happiness, motivation, and structure to our lives. In its absence, you realise just how much reassurance you take from its presence. That promise of the next match, seeing friends, socialising, analysing, and debating. Rather, the point is, post-coronavirus, surely we will want to look forward, not back. Not when what's passed in between threatens to be so distressing. Think of the one day of the year that unites every sports fan in optimism, excitement, and hope. It is the first day of a new season. The joy of week 1 is shared by all. Come September, October, whenever, the prospect of such a collective comfort is, you feel, far more profitable than rewinding to week 29 or 37 of a season most of us will have long since forgotten or given up caring about. Life, hopefully, will be about fresh starts. So, I mean, that's you're starting, and this is the thing, you're starting now. From before, it was very much, we've heard for the last week, we've very much heard, and even today and yesterday, we've heard journalists, ex-players, things like that, saying, it's got to be finished. There is no alternative. It must be finished. And actually, the article, probably not if you're a Liverpool fan, but the article is probably right in some respects, saying, if it was September, October, November, are we really going to be that fussed come then after everything that people are going to go through in the next, let's face it, 5, 6 months, maybe, if that is the time when it resumes? Are they going to be really that fussed about what happened in March 6 months ago? Really? I don't know. I thought it was an interesting point of view, looking at it from that perspective. Anyway, but there you go. Let's go back to your comments. I can't wait to see Man City so tiny. We've done that one. Sorry, big massive jump. There's loads of comments. I do apologise. Alan Kernigan and Jerry Creaney. Think UK is getting 600 plus cases a day. It's mad. Well, I'll be honest with you, Ocean Rage. Sorry, I need a drink. My throat's dry. I did say last week, when we were talking about Worldometer, and said we're seeing 48 and then 64, and then I said this is going to 124 is going to seem like nothing if it's exponentially going to be increasing day by day, and then we hear 626, and what's next? 2,000. You know, in the next coming days, 2,000 will become the norm. You know, you only have to look at Italy and things like that. But anyway, I'm no coronavirus expert. I don't claim to be, and I'll leave that to the experts. But yeah, it's very worrying. Evening, I'm new to the channel. I love the content. MCFC forever. Thank you very much, mate. You're more than welcome. Sorry, I'm just getting business messages coming in as well. And while I just put something up at the moment, I just need to reply to this very quickly. Otherwise, I'm going to have to just come off the vlog. Let me just pop this up for 1 second. I'll be with you in a second. And for those who didn't see Spot the Ball, there you go. There's your balls. Sorry, I just had to check my emails. Right. Where was I? Let me go back to your comments. We find out about the league tomorrow, don't we? Well, there's a meeting tomorrow. I don't think you're going to hear much. I'll be honest with you. I'd be very surprised if they say anything. I mean, if you've not seen the video, check out the video I did yesterday with Martin Samuel. Martin Samuel's article that talked about the fact that, you know, why does a decision have to be made now? It can't be made now. Things are changing daily, hourly. How can you possibly make a decision? So I don't think it really makes much difference. I think the meeting should really be about when's the next meeting going to be? And in the meantime, what are we going to do for lower league clubs and for people who can't pay their staff and things like that? That's what the meeting should be about, not about when football is going to resume, because everything is going to change rapidly over the next 48, 72 hours. So the meeting tomorrow will be irrelevant, in my opinion. There'll be no set deadlines because they just simply can't. Because the simple fact is, nobody knows what's happening next. Let me just go back. Sorry, big jump there. Chris Baker. In recent years, I worked with Trevor Christie. I gave him boatloads every time I bumped into him. Told him he was in our top 3 worst strikers of all time. I think he appreciated it. Beyond belief, our week 1 this season was defined by VAR. Even though we won 3-0, we had 2 disallowed goals that dominated the headlines. MCFC forever. Everyone is an expert nowadays. Nobody can predict what will happen. Very true. Very, very true. And this is the problem. We've got too many people spouting out a right load of nonsense and don't really know what they're talking about. Even the experts don't even know. So why listen to anybody else? That would be my advice. Don't listen to anybody on social media, YouTube channels, whatever. Watch, listen to what's happening live every day with websites, official websites, and Sky News and whatever else is going on. Don't listen to what people say on social media because nobody knows, not even the professionals know how this thing is changing whatsoever. So it's just nonsense. We find out about the league tomorrow. Sorry, I've done that one already. What kind of power drink? What power drink, mate? It's orange. Gotta up my vitamin C, especially after today. Which 2 players would you sell out of Jesus, Sterling, Bernardo, and Mahrez? Bloody hell, Queen. I wouldn't sell. I would. I would sell Mahrez out of those options, but I wouldn't want to sell any of them. I'd want to keep Jesus, Sterling, Bernardo, and Mahrez if I could. If I had to sell one, I'd sell Mahrez without a shadow of a doubt. Never going to happen. There will be so many poorly folk in May, June, and July, and the country will be so tired no one will care about football by summer. I'd sell Sterling and Mahrez. Wow. Sterling? There's your balls. Beyond belief, actors need to self-isolate as they appear to be high-risk group. Never mind people with underlying health condition dying as they normally would. I mean, yeah. I wonder maybe it's for Karadi Jerry Creaney. Yeah, there's two more. Say goodbye to Mac FC in the next month. It's all over there. It's terrible. MCFC forever. Are you live every day? Yes, we are pretty much every day. Can't guarantee it because all depends on what's happening, but pretty much I think we've maybe missed 1 or 2 days in the last 2 years. But yeah, if we can, we'll do it. We don't promise because everyone has their own sort of things to do. But now, certainly for the next 2 months, I can guarantee you, unless something majorly happens, we'll be live every day. BB, the biggest cause of death ever, being poor. I agree, I'd keep Jesus and Bernardo, Scott Williams and Oldham as well. I have a shocking state of affairs unless they can access some of the government funds that have been released, but doubt they will be able to get their hands on it. Right, leads me on to my last point, and this is the man does it again. Like I said, the man does it yet again. And if anyone talks any sense in this current day and age, talking about football in general, never mind the whole, as he calls it, lunacy. And this is the headline from Martin Samuel today. And it's so, the one saving and grace when it comes to sports journalism anyway in this current time is that Martin Samuel is now reporting and writing daily, almost pretty much daily, with his thoughts on things, where normally we used to get a little bit of the odd one during the week, and then most of his stuff used to come in an article on Sunday, the Sunday Mail on Sunday, whatever you want to call it. But he's now pretty much putting out all of his stuff, which is brilliant to read. So this is staging the Euros across 12 cities was a rotten idea before coronavirus. Now it's lunacy. And it says, it's at times like these, said UEFA President Alexander Seferin, that the football community needs to show responsibility, unity, solidarity, and altruism. Indeed, valuable qualities, but equally, it's brains you want, and they remain in short supply in European football. To pursue delaying the European clubs' finals by a single month shows scant appreciation of the crisis enveloping the continent right now. Simon Stevens, Chief Executive Officer of the NHS, as good as ruled out summer sport before the Health Select Committee on Tuesday. So why should the schedule across the rest of Europe be different? Privately, the FA are amazed that deciding European Championship playoffs in June or European club competitions in early summer is even being discussed. Equally, agreeing to delay the European Championship by a year but keeping its pan-continental format reveals an absence of understanding of what is to come. The 2020 edition was scheduled to take place in 12 major European cities across an area measuring 2.3 million square miles, and guess what? It still is. All UEFA changed in their much vaunted consultations and conference calls were the dates, pushing it back a year. The unwieldy, problematic multi-nation format remains. Despite coronavirus, despite airlines in crisis and airline routes abandoned, despite 1,000 unknowns about where individual countries will be 14 months from now, UEFA announced a 1-year delay and thought it was smart. It shows the intelligence of these people. They haven't got a clue. From St. Petersburg in the north to Rome in the south, from Dublin in the west to Baku in the east, and UEFA believes bases as distant as this will all be on the same page by summer 2021. There are 12 locations that must be in accord for this to work, and approaching 130 flight routes that need to be operational just to get fans through the group stages. Without coronavirus, it was a rotten plan. At the time of the continent's biggest crisis since the Second World War, when the air travel industry stands on the brink of oblivion, the IATA, which is the International Air Transport Association, prediction is that all of but 30 of 700 commercial airlines will fold without government help. It is lunatic. For Euro 2021 to play, Glasgow, Dublin, London, Bilbao, Copenhagen, Amsterdam, Munich, Rome, St. Petersburg, Budapest, Bucharest, and Baku must all have coronavirus under control. For supporters to be able to travel, flights across Europe must be widely operational. Take Group A: Italy, Wales, Switzerland, and Turkey, with matches played in Rome and Baku. Some supporters will wish to follow their team, others will attend one match. So, for example, a fan of Turkey might fly to Rome for game 1 against Italy, and then from Rome to Baku for games 2 against Wales. Equally, another Turkish fan might wish to visit Rome or Baku as a one-off round trip. So for Group A to work, there must be flights on specific dates from Turkey to Rome, Rome to Turkey, the UK to Baku, Baku to UK, Switzerland to Baku, Baku to Switzerland, Rome to Baku, Turkey to Baku, Baku to Turkey, the UK to Baku, Baku to the UK, Baku to Rome, Switzerland to Rome, Rome to Switzerland, Rome to Baku, Switzerland to Baku, Baku to Switzerland, Turkey to Baku, Baku to Turkey, Baku to Rome, the UK to Rome, and Rome to the UK. I need a drink now before I... This amounts to 22 flight routes, either charter or direct. No changes. Just to make a single group function for fans. And there are 6 groups, all with similar logistical issues. And this is a competition UEFA thinks Europe will be ready to stage in little more than a year. Deluded doesn't really cover it. Today's meeting should have been used to condemn the pan-European tournament to the dustbin. We could politely say it was a nice idea, but frankly, it wasn't. It was a desperate, panicked fudge caused by the incompetence of Michel Platini, who, as UEFA president, announced he was voting for Turkey as hosts on the day 2020 bidding opened. This caused all other viable bids to pull out, and then when Turkey did too, its government decided to target the 2020 Olympic Games instead. UEFA were left without any options. Hence the fallback of putting the competition out to city tender. UEFA have since dressed this multi-nation tournament up as a 60th anniversary celebration, but that is a red herring. It was an emergency measure and no more, but a greater emergency is upon us now. The most sensible option would have been to give up on the original schedule with its multiple logistical headaches and work towards a simpler plan. With all 55 member nations on screen, UEFA could have asked which ones could potentially host a tournament at, let's say, 6 months' notice. We pretty much know those names now. Countries that have 6 to 10 stadiums capable of coping with major events, that are relatively compact with decent transport links. Russia has recently hosted a well-run World Cup in the West. England is always ready. France succeeded with European Championships in 2016. Germany with the World Cup in 2006. Nobody has to commit. Nobody has to spend millions on building infrastructure or mounting a winning bidding campaign. They just have to raise a hand and volunteer if required. And from there, we wait. See what the world looks like in 6, even 10 months' time. See what is the best, most practical location. It certainly isn't 12 cities, that much we can guess. We cannot speak with any certainty about specifics right now, but generally it is obvious that the more tightly contained an event, the more chance there is of it being able to take place. Certainly, there is far more chance of holding a successful post-coronavirus European Championship in one country than across Europe. So why are those options not being considered now? Not planned, not cemented in stone, just floated and discussed. Who, in principle, could host it? It could be that UEFA are concerned that the cities have already committed. The new Puskas Arena in Budapest was only opened in November 15 last year, obviously with the promise of hosting 4 European Championship matches, including Portugal versus France and 1 round of a 16 game. Budapest status was agreed in 2014, and the Hungarian government would understandably feel shortchanged to have this event taken from them, particularly at the cost of the stadium doubled from the original estimate. Yet we face extreme, exceptional circumstances. There could be levels of compensation, shares of revenue from wherever the tournament is ultimately held, and the promise of major European matches by the way of recompense. What if Budapest got to host a European final in the short-term future? There are ways and means around this, and sport cannot be held to judgments made in times that might as well be medieval for all the relevance they have to our position today. UEFA delayed their premier national competition by a year, yet still did not go far enough. This requires a reboot, a rethink, a re-evaluation of what will be possible 2 summers from now. If UEFA believe the continent will be back to normal by then, even economically, they have not been paying attention. And I think once again, I'm sorry that was a bit of a long one, but if you've not read it, go over and read it. I mean, it just goes to show you that the man is absolutely spot on with what he's saying. UEFA are only interested. We only saw reports the other day that UEFA would potentially be suing for £250 million if the Euros didn't go ahead. And they were going to try and claim that from clubs and competitions and sponsors and whatever else. And now all of a sudden they're putting it back a year. And like Martin Samuel said there, how are you possibly going to put on a tournament a year from now? Close to a year, 14 months, let's say. When right now we might be looking at September, October, November. Who knows when we even finish a domestic season? Are we just because we finish a domestic season, or even let's say the Champions League behind closed doors, because football will be played behind closed doors? Then how the hell is aviation going to get back on its feet, running at full tilt? When, like you said in there, IATA, which is the International Air Transport Association, they're like a ICAO is the world governing. To give you a bit of background, the ICAO is the legal precedent for worldwide aviation travel, but IATA are sometimes more restrictive in there because they talk about best practice. So they follow what ICAO says, but they also add in extra stuff for aviation. Now, if they're saying that if governments around the world do not back their airlines in each country, out of 700 commercial airlines worldwide, only 30 of them will be standing by the end of the year. Maybe even this time next year. So, how can UEFA go, yeah, no, that's it, we're going to put it back to, we're going to do that. Instead of just going, how can this possibly work across 12 different cities? I mean, it's just asking for trouble. It's asking for trouble. And like Martin Samuel said, why not just give it to and compensate those cities that have built stadiums or were going to host it? Why not just put it in somewhere like Germany or France or the UK? And even then, that's a risk because we don't know where we're going to be in 12 months' time. But at least we know we have got fit-for-purpose stadiums in the UK, transport links, things like that, as good as, what can be guessing where we're going to be in 12 months' time. Or Germany, or Italy, or Spain, or France, or wherever. It doesn't make any difference. But a European city that has that infrastructure, has that stadia capacity to host, 4 games in one day in different locations, and people don't have to travel 2,000, 3,000 miles. Like I said, from Rome to Baku to Dublin. I mean, it's madness. You only saw what the Arsenal fans and that when they went to the Europa League. Now I've been to Baku. Baku's a beautiful, beautiful city. But getting there is a pain in the arse. It really is. So we're expecting fans to travel from Baku to Dublin to Rome to. I mean, it's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. But anyway, that's my little rant because it was a football related. And it was something I've really thought about over the last couple of days when all these meetings have been taking place and things. I thought, how is this going to work from an aviation? Because that's my background. From aviation point of view, I just don't understand. And then when I read his article this morning that he put out online last night, I just thought he's got it absolutely spot on again. Absolutely spot on. But anyway, Chris Baker, Martin Samuel needs to self-isolate. If we lose him, where will we be? The best sports journal out there. He is absolutely, very, very rarely, I must admit, and I read everything he puts out. I've gone back over the last few years. I've gone back and read stuff he wrote, especially when it came to FFP and things like that, Chris. I read stuff that he put out in 2011, 2012 on FFP and interviews, and I've done loads of videos on here about it, and I've read tons and tons of his stuff, and only maybe one or two times I've thought, I'm not too sure about that. God, I'm not a sports journalist. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm thinking, literally 98% of the time, his articles are absolutely on point, and they don't just go down the usual journal route of blah 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 blah. He actually looks at the bigger picture, and he's a wonderful, absolutely wonderful, wonderful journalist. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and he just types into the psyche. He asks the questions that we all go. I do anyway. Go, yeah, God, that's a good point. What about this? Or I was only thinking that the other. He just taps in. He's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Pep plays Jesus, Bernardo more because of their work rate. Mahrez is better than Bernardo at getting past people, but Jesus is more skillful than Mahrez. Can I be part of the channel family, please? What do you want to do? Who is the two most skillful and best at dribbling, Andy? Two of who? Which two? Queen versus King. Which one are you on about? They need to take this idea, bloody Baku. Please tell me you're not going to be an expert on coronavirus as well. Huh? I'm not being an expert on coronavirus. I've already stopped following another channel as they are just scaremongering with out-of-date facts. Stick to the football, please. I am sticking to the football. I'm not doing. That was Martin. I was talking about Martin Samuel's article. That wasn't me talking. I was reading from his article in the Daily Mail. I'm certainly not a coronavirus expert, and that's if you look at what we said on here. No corona. It says there on the rolling screen. No corona virus expertise here. We're not going to profess to being an expert in coronavirus, and I think people on social media and YouTube channels and whatever else, just stay clear of it. Stay clear of it because it is a dynamic, changing environment every day, and to go out there and scaremonger and things like that and give potentially facts that are not correct, or things that are not being given by our own government per se. Just don't even go there. Stick to football, let's say. I don't know, but that we're certainly not. We're certainly not scaremongering. I promise you that. Round of applause to Mr. Samuels. Tell it how it is. It is. Love Martin Samuel, and his name says, "Oh, Martin's at the parents." How did I know you would come on with that? Mahrez is a one-trick pony who is not fit to lace Bubblegum's boots. He's not good enough. I can't argue because I have called him that before. What's a name he has? What a name he has. Oh, sorry. Martin Buchan. Oh, yeah, there you go. Chris, at the end of the day, Martin's rule. Bloody hell. I swear to God, if you say Baku one more time. What's your keyboard, Chris? Now I've forgotten that. Never get to rag. UCAB. Baku. Adam Ali, how will lockdown work on COVID-19? How will I? No idea. Absolutely no idea. I'm no expert, and I don't profess to. Go and watch Sky News. Go and talk to the experts. Certainly, this is a fan channel, football fan channel. We're certainly not experts, and nobody should listen to anything we say on there. It's just totally nonsense. Go and listen to the experts. Don't listen to us, because that would be wrong of us to do that. I think he is gonna Ocean at our club City. Great stuff, thank you. Nobody knows anything, not even the experts know all the facts. Martin is bakery. Martin is bakery. One more time for Ryan. Baku, Baku, Baku. Funny how fans will put up with Bubblegum having a shite season, but not Sterling having crap 3 months. Yeah, good point, that Ivor. Yeah, it's because he's a nice guy, innit? Where Sterling, I still think, hasn't quite crossed the divide with all fans. I mean, yeah. Kiss my back. Anyway, last thing before I go. If you don't know, where is the Baku? Which one is the Baku? Ryan, which one is the Baku? Come on, you must know which Baku that is. Is it Baku 1, Baku 2, Baku 3, or Baku 4? Come on, which one is it? Come on, Ryan. You've got to get the answer right before I go. Baku 1, Baku 2, Baku 3, or Baku 4? Couldn't help myself, sorry. Anyway, Andy, too skillful at our club City. Andy, too skillful at our club. You're just a big dish. What? Kiss my Baku. I don't even know where this has turned into Baku, but anyway. Andy, too skillful at our club City. Still not making any sense whatsoever, Queen versus King. Are you talking about who are the two most skillful people at our club? Is that what you're talking about? Maybe. I don't know. Baku the net. It's 4. Baku. It is Baku 4. It's Baku 4. Well done, 4. Baku 4, Ryan. You're spot on. Two skillful players at our club, I'm guessing. I don't know. Phil Foden apparently is exceptionally skillful. Hey, and that's another thing. Anyone see Spitty? Anyone see Spitty doing the toilet roll challenge? Trying to keep it up. My God. Fucking garbage. Couldn't even... 2. I think he kept it up for 2. And then tonight, I retweeted it on Twitter. Phil Foden, in his front room, just doing it for fun. So there you go, Spitty. There are ballers, and then there are you, fella. Phil Foden, absolutely legendary. Oh, and one other thing. Sky, you absolute twats. If you didn't see my post on Twitter yesterday, I got an email from Sky yesterday saying, just to let you know, from the 1st of April, your multi-room goes up by £3.50. Your Sky Q box goes up from £1, goes up by £1.50. All right, it's not a huge amount of money, but that's another £5. £5. So I replied back to Sky on Twitter saying, in the current climate, wouldn't it be nice, considering that, governments are trying to bail out people and help businesses and people on the streets, blah, 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 blah. Why are you suddenly? Wouldn't it be nice just to not put it up? Considering that there is no live sports on Sky Sports, virtually nothing. So they were, oh yes, but there's this and there's that and the other and blah, 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 blah. And then came back saying, yes, I know, but it is going to be played again in the near future and you'll see all these sports events. I went, that's not my point. My point was, why increase it by £5? On my bill anyway, £5. Why not just freeze it? Okay, 1, we're not asking for a refund, even though we're not seeing any live sports. But 2, you have the cheek. It shows your moral compass to actually, 1st of April, put it up by £5 when we're not even seeing what we're paying for, you cheeky bastards. So they're an absolute fucking disgrace. So for me, I think Sky are going, absolutely going. They can piss right off if they think I'm paying. I mean, I pay £92 a month, I think it is. And it's not the £5. It's just the fact that they just take the piss. They could quite easily have just frozen it and said, for the next 6 months, we'll no price increase. Let's face it, people could go back and go, hold on a minute, we're not seeing any live sport. I'm paying for this every month and we're not seeing anything. Give us the money back. And I know there's a knock-on effect between clubs and what the FA have been paid and Premier League been paid and clubs have been paid. I'm not asked. I'm not a club owner. I'm an everyday person on the street who pays for Sky Sports and not seeing any of it because there's nothing being played. So why then? Why not just go? We're sorry, you will see all the games again, but for now we're just halting it. There'll be no price increase. No, what they want to do is not show you any live sports, but then add another £5 per month. Now, if you think there's 12 million people, 15 million people that are doing that, it might be £1 even. Some of them £5, some of them £7. Jesus, another 30, 40 million quid for Sky. Greedy bastards. End of story. But anyway, that's it. No bread in store today, which was madness. You need to buy some flour, mate, and some yeast and make your own. It's dead easy. Pubs busy, paying Sky over £1,000 a month for news and Premier League history. There you go, exactly. And there's another point. And I bet you, Ryan, some of those will have the same email saying that it's going up because it's a normal. I was told by Sky on Twitter. Well, it was planned anyway last month or the month before. It was a normal thing, and it was Well, just because it was normal 2 months ago, we're not in normal times now. You greedy bastards. So why not change your policy and go? We're going to freeze it. There you go. Seeing as though you've got no live sports, you got this, we'll freeze it. No, they don't. Absolute bastards. They are greedy, immoral fuckers. Does my head in. It really, really does. The amount of money that company makes is incredible. And then the Sky Help team said, oh, we'll take your comment. I'll take your... No, they said, I'll take your comments on board. Was the comment I got back yesterday. Let me just bring it up. Which was quite interesting because it read like she was the owner or he was the owner of Sky. It's like that. Huh? Really? So I replied back. I can't remember what the name of the person is, but I basically replied back to him saying, "Are you David L. Norton, the owner of Comcast? So how are you going to take my comments on board?" And I know there's just somebody working in a call centre, and I appreciate that, but they are just absolute robbing bastards. They really are. But anyway, it is what it is. So I've seen loads of replies. So I think about 8 or 9 replies going, I've just cancelled mine yesterday. I just cancelled mine last week. I just cancelled mine. Sky, if you don't start looking after your customers, everyone's going to go, sod off. We'll find some streams somewhere to watch the football. But anyway, that's my moan for today. Yeah, at the pub I play for darts is paying around 1.2k a month for it. Yeah, there you go. And you can imagine I'm paying 90 quid, 92 quid. And I'm sure they've got multi-room and Sky Q or whatever else as well. Well, if I'm taking an increase of £5, if they are on that percentage wise on 1.2k a month, Jesus Christ! I mean, it's frightening, absolutely frightening. So, are you on early tomorrow? I certainly won't be on at this time tomorrow. I mean, you want to be on a lot earlier, or Martin might be on. Who knows? But there'll be more videos coming out tomorrow. I need to get out the next episode 4 of the player debate about defenders. Sorry, that needs to go out on the channel tomorrow. Plus some of the stuff that we've got lined up as well. But there is going to be a big quiz. We're thinking maybe Friday night might be the time with everything that's kicking off. Friday night, we might do the big quiz. But anyway, don't forget, thank you so much. I just want to say, keep checking in, guys. We're going to be here now. You've got us, me, Martin, potentially. So it looks like Martin, with schools closing and things like that, Martin's going to be around a lot more, even though you probably still have to be working as part of his job. But Martin will be around on the channel as well, and Kiam will be around doing his FIFA stuff. But great points, Andy. We aren't getting what we pay for. Absolutely, it's not. I don't mind. BB. I don't mind paying for it, and I get the fact that at some point we're possibly going to be shown all these live streams when the football season 6 months down the line, whenever starts again. That's not the issue. And I'm not going, I want a refund for, I'm not saying, that's not my point. My point is, at this moment in time, when we're not getting what we're paying for, and we don't mind waiting, why increase it? Why increase it? greedy. It's greed, absolute immoral, and it's greed, pure greed, and that's what annoys me more than anything else. If we're talking about defenders, I'd like to say I don't think Angelino will play for City again after his loan spell. Well, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to do a video. Won't be talking about that. I'll be doing a video for tomorrow for episode 4 of the player debate. So it's not an interactive one. It's a video for the channel. But you can talk about it. Go over and watch it. And like I said, we have got loads and loads and loads of stuff coming up for you guys to keep you entertained, to keep you interacting with it, talking to each other, and just taking our minds off all of us being coronavirus experts and garbage. Stay clear of that nonsense. Just listen to the official people who know what they're talking about. Let's talk about, we're a football channel. Let's talk about footy, sport, whatever it is that you want to talk about. Who knows? Ryan Corrie might do some WWE on the channel. I shouldn't have said that because he'll probably murder me now to do something. Do you think City will reduce next season card by 6 games? I think they'll probably add that onto next season card, and you'll get that knocked off. Maybe I've no idea, mate. I don't work for City. I've got no idea. I think they'll just add it on. I can't see, unless you're in the stadium, I can't see any reason why they would charge you for it. They can't. How can they possibly charge you if a fan is not in the stadium? I can only suggest what they'll do is they'll knock it off next season card. Who knows? And that's a guess. I have no idea. I don't profess to be an expert like some in everything that they talk about. So I don't know. We'll leave it to the experts, and that'll be the people who run Man City. Okay, myself and Stephen Barnes, the Secretary Official MCFC Sports Brand Melbourne, will do a Skype chat with you when you're free. We're 11 hours in front of you, all good. Thank you, Alan. Don't forget, send me. I don't know whether you have. You might have done, mate. I know we've chatted before, but here is the email address. Send us an email. Give us a time. What suits you? I'm here. Makes no difference to me. So we can fit it in. And what we'll do is maybe do a Skype chat with me and a couple of others, talking to you guys out in Melbourne on a live Skype chat, and we'll record it and put it out so everyone can have a listen and tune in. So thank you very much for that, Alan. Do appreciate it. And if you've got any points or something in particular you want us to discuss with you guys, send me an email to that email address, and we'll set it up for maybe tomorrow or the next day. But we'll definitely do something with that. So thank you, Alan. Really do appreciate it. And it'd be great to speak to you guys out in Melbourne. Take care, Andy. See you guys. Wash your toilet paper and use it again. Run out. What's this new Sky letting folk suspend their subscriptions? It's on Twitter now. I don't know, mate. I haven't seen it. Yes. I don't know what that's going on. I'll take a look. I have no idea, buddy. Skies are letting folks suspend their subscriptions. So they can suspend it but not get rid of it or whatever. Maybe it's true. Maybe we'll come back and tell you a bit more about that tomorrow. But anyway, it's late. I've got to go. I've had one of those days. But anyway, just wanted to check in, have a good chat with you guys, catch up, and we'll be here for you every single day. And if you want to join in, the email address is there. Please, if you want to come in and talk to us, do some live streams, do some whatever it is that you want to do, you're absolutely more than welcome. And if you don't want your face on camera, you don't have to be on camera. It can just be audio. But get involved. Get involved if you're bored, if you're at home, if you're in isolation, and you just think, God, I want to talk about footy and fed up of all social media and news and coronavirus. And like a lot of people are, we're trying to keep up to date with what's going on. To be prudent on it, but sometimes we want to take our mind off these things and just talk about footy or sport in general. And I'm happy to talk about other sports, maybe not WWE, but anyway, I'm going to play Martin and I'm going to play Kiam at FIFA. That should be a laugh. But anyway, not sure I ripped them all off. I'm not fussy. Have a good one, Andy. All of you Blues. What's the mad rush for toilet paper? You got water to wash with, like most of the rest of the world used to wash out the hoop. I can make the City team on W2. There you go. Ryan, I'll leave that one to you. Maybe we'll chat on email tomorrow. But guys, take care. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. Good luck. Look after your loved ones. Look after your family. keep washing your hands, keep being safe, keep taking the experts' advice. Whatever you do, look after each other, be nice to each other, and it's it's going to be difficult. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We've not seen anything yet, but we'll still be here every day, checking in with you guys, and don't forget to spread it around. Not the virus, the fact that we're here every day, and if you want to be a subscriber, subscribe, hit that bell icon, make sure your settings are set to public, that way you're notified every single time a video is coming on Man City Fan TV. But a big thanks to Martin, big thanks to Kiam, and Chris, and Tom, and Ryan, and everyone who gets involved with the channel. Really do appreciate it. And thank you, some of the DMs that I've had today. I'm not going to name them, but you know who you are. I want to say a massive, massive thank you for your support and everything else, and your nice comments that you've made. So take care, everyone. Take care, BB. Later, peasants. see you soon. Either I'll be in that man shed for a few beers and some Pink Floyd pretty soon, if I can. Take care. We'll see you soon.